Hey, welcome to Games with Trev. I'm Monique.
And I'm Trev. Today we're going to rank every single hireling en route. So join us.
For those of you that don't know what the hirelings are, they're a mini expansion to one of our favorite games, Root. These hirelings, or the mini factions, just give the game a little bit more oomph, especially at a two-player game, which we experienced, and it just puts a little bit more going on the board so you have more to work with.
It's true. It actually makes it way better because now you can play virtually any faction against any faction and it levels the playing field. Mm-hmm. Because we were playing games where I was most definitely destined to lose, and without the hirelings I would have lost. But because of them, I came up and won. So they're super important, and we wanted to rank them all so you the good people, could know what's the best faction to use in the hireling. Another cool thing about the hirelings is actually they never stay with one player throughout the game. They switch. You roll a dice, and basically if you're in first place, you can only get between 1 and 2 turns with them. But if you're in last place, you get between 1 and 4 turns with them, which is awesome. And you get time to use them and move around with them, but you don't want to do too much with them because they'll come back to bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
We came up with the best way to rank board games. We devised a new way and a new tier system that we think is pretty good. Instead of having the S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, we have a new one. And this is what it's going to be. The bottom tier is S tier, and that stands for stupid. These are the stuff that's just not good, not our favorite, and maybe doesn't add too much.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's stupid.
The next tier is actually E tier, which is it's all right. It's not very good.
Fine.
It's fine. The M tier is meh. This is the stuff that's kind of just middle. It's not too good.
It's better than A.
It's better than A, but it's not very awesome.
Good.
And going into awesome, that's the next tier, A. A stands for awesome. These are the components that are really good and are really awesome. They add a lot to the game. But the superior tier of this tier list is G, or what we like to call GG for good game.
Because if you don't say GG, that's lame.
Yeah, you're a bad player. So that's why you have G for the top of the list. Wait, G-A-N. Did we just spell games? Oh gosh. Well,
Oh! The first hireling we're going to rank today is the popular Band. These are the cat-looking meeples that are a band.
And they're really awesome in theme.
They're
because
cute.
Yeah, they're all about basically making players stay in that area or force them to come in, like luring them with the music or making them stay to listen a little bit longer.
Maybe they want to dance.
But we came up with that they're M tier. They're kind of meh, they're not very good, and it doesn't happen a whole lot, and sometimes it actually benefits the other player when you act on it.
Because basically what happens is like you move to like the band where it's playing, and it just, like he was saying, it's just meh. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's not really.
But it's fun.
It's good. Memorable.
Yeah. This next hireling is actually our first G tier hireling. This one is called the Last Dynasty. They were based upon the Erie Dynasty, and what they basically are 5 little bandits and little bunch of people that go around and they just wreck people.
It's awesome.
And it's awesome because it's just this brute force that you can move across the board and do your bidding.
And they all move together, which is nice. That I like versus like different hirelings that we'll talk later in the video. It's just like
it's nice to have
this
group of people. And if you lose them all, you can bring them all back. So it's actually nice. And when it switches back and forth between players, it's actually really nice because you got to keep away from them, but you want to be close by to help them out.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Next on the list is the Bandit Gang. This is in A tier because they're just fun. They're different, and I really like them. Basically what you do is you put one of your little bandits in between like 2 clearings in a road, and if someone passes through there, you got to lose one of your like faction pieces.
But if you're the one controlling them and you pass through, you gain a faction piece. You basically acquire a new buddy to help you out.
Yeah, it's super awesome, and just I thought the theme of it was really clever to have them like out on the road instead of in the clearing like every other piece.
Yeah, it's cool. They really got creative with it, and it's really awesome. It's one of the better factions.
A for awesome.
The next highlight we're going to talk about is called the Warm Sun Prophets. These are the lizard folk type faction. They are actually E tier. They're just, they're not that great.
They were just kind of forgettable, which I was really disappointed about because I like the culty.
She likes the culty vibe about it.
I think it's funny.
But the fact that it just doesn't come up enough, and you're not excited to play as them. And we were talking earlier, and she was saying, like, I would never pick them first if I had to pick the hirelings.
Because you usually have, like, 3 hirelings out that you switch in between players, and I would never, like, choose that first.
Yeah, it's just not one we're really excited for, and it was fine.
It was fine.
The next one we're going to talk about is the Corvid Spies. These guys actually surprised us because usually we look them up online and see what's going on with them, and I wasn't too excited about this one in particular just because people didn't like it that much. But
the theming wasn't like anything special.
Yeah, but it's actually awesome. It's one of the more different ones because what you do basically is you're putting all these little Corvid spies or people that's going to whisper in your ears, and you can either A, battle with them, which is always good, or B, steal a card.
That part was, like, phenomenal because none of the other hirelings really, like, the ones that have something different to them we really liked just because it was, like, balanced the game very well and it also switched things up.
It's true. And also, like, it gives you opportunity to steal cards, which you don't get to do. Like, you can steal a dominance card. You can do all these different things and try to stop someone, especially someone who's playing as, like, the Eerie Dynasty where cards matter and making sure you get the right cards. You can really screw them over if you get one of their wild cards, which is awesome.
True. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is Sunward Expedition. These we put in the M tier, or meh. Definitely better than eh, but the thing I did like about these is, like, you have a ton of pieces on the board, and it just gives you a little bit of protection as you're moving along. But then again, like Trevin was saying earlier, they could come back and bite you. So that's why I think we ranked it at meh, is because they're nice when you have them, but when you don't, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, they really hurt you over because you really put a lot of them on your characters, but as soon as it switches sides, they're just sitting there waiting to hit you back.
Yeah.
And so it was good, but the balance wasn't there that we liked.
Yeah. Okay, now for one that we really enjoyed, A tier for the Furious Protector. This guy was awesome because you didn't have to roll any dice to battle. You just move him and he gets rid of another faction's piece. And we really liked that just because it wasn't super powerful to the point where you got rid of all their pieces, but it just helped you out a little bit. Because maybe you wanted to battle in that clearing next turn, or just like little things like that.
It's true. You also can't have any of the opponent's pieces be put into there. Which was nice because it protected your clearing, especially when you're a little guy and you're trying to keep one spot from getting taken. That is awesome. The next hireling we're going to talk about is called the Spring Uprising. This hireling is the Woodland Alliance-esque hireling, and this is what we call a G tier hireling. These guys are awesome. They take everything we love about a hireling and add the creativity right into it. What you do is you have to roll a dice to decide if you can do something in that clearing. Well, if you do get to do something, you can remove everything of a player's piece, every piece from a player out of that clearing. But it doesn't happen that often. It's a 33% chance. Like, I think I only have like 3 times, but it was awesome because it wasn't like they were too powerful, but they were just good. They were just awesome.
Yeah, definitely G tier. Now, this one, we decided we were going to put it in but it's just kind of stupid. And that's the Exile. And he's stupid because you have to craft things to do stuff with him. And if your faction doesn't craft things, then it just is kind of like a waste of time.
But also when you craft things, you're helping the other players out with it.
Because you don't lose them. You just, like, exhaust them, like the Vagabond.
Yeah, and it's basically just another Vagabond. Which, Vagabonds are great, and we love them.
I like the Vagabond.
But it just wasn't the right feel of what we're looking for. So that's why we placed it in between the E and the S tier. It wasn't
It's in the S tier.
No, it's in between. It's in between. Because it's not that bad. Like, they do help out because you can basically clear a whole clearing.
That's true.
But it's just that whole...
The work up to it is, like, too much.
It's not worth it, yeah. The next hireling is called Forest Patrol, and these are the Marquise the Cat ones. These hirelings are basically everywhere. They're on every single clean of the board, which you'd think would be awesome, but actually they kind of fall in the E tier.
Forgettable.
Yeah. They just kind of, you don't, basically to be able to use them, you need to combine a lot of them together to be able to have enough force to do something. And then at that point, it already switched hands and it's probably going to be against you. So it's just too much setup to be able to use them. What we like about the hirelings is basically accessibility and creativity. And there just wasn't a lot with it.
The next hireling we're going to talk about are the Flame Bearers. This is like the Lord of the Hundreds faction. And we placed this one in between A and M. They're pretty good. We really like them because of the aspect that you get to place a warrior but also get rid of another faction's piece. So it's balanced in that way where if you're getting killed by the other faction, you get to replace and replenish as you go.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. And there's only 5 of them, so it doesn't get too overpowered as you think it would, but they're just a good solid hireling.
I would say like if you had to put them as like a base hireling of like where things could grow, they would be the base.
Yeah, they are a really good base to stand on. Now for the only hireling who basically funds the S tier. Because this hireling is called the See, I don't even remember the name. It's called the Vault Keepers. That is their title. And they're the Keepers in Iron-esque faction.
Keepers in Iron is good.
Yeah, but I like Keepers in Iron, but this is completely different. I wouldn't even call them part of that because they're not even similar at all. I don't know what about it, but you basically just have you have to place these vaults and then place a person. And there's only like 6 of them, I think, total.
And if you don't have a vault, you can't place someone.
Yeah, so you have to place a vault and then place a person, and then place a vault and place a person. Well, there's 4 turns, and you only ever get a total of 4 turns, if that.
Max.
And so now you lose them. And then all of a sudden, you basically set someone else up to use them, and it's like, what? And then also, we were talking about is if you place the vault, it's just an opportunity for someone else to get a point from it, from breaking it. And so it's just not... It just wasn't good, and it just didn't really play out well, and we couldn't. It
wasn't that it was like forgettable; it just wasn't good.
Yeah, there's just not a good strategy for it, and that's why they built their own jail cell around the S tier.
Okay, now for our favorite little hireling, the holy grail of all the hirelings is the River Flotilla.
Oh my goodness!
So cool.
It's the best. It is everything you want in a hireling and more. It seems a little overpowered at times, but as soon as you get it and you get a bite back, whew, it feels good.
It's nice. Basically, they can only go on the river portion of the board or the lake portion on the other expansion board. And this is absolutely awesome because it restricts where they can go, but once they go there, you get to blow everything up, basically.
Yeah, you basically just get to roll combat dice, and they can't fight you back, and it's a 0 to 3 hit, and it's so awesome. But the other cool thing is when your turn starts, anyone who's at that spot gets a card. So it's almost like you're trading with the otters, and then they backstab you. Yeah. It's so much fun, and like they always last in the middle because that's where the river is, and everyone goes there. So you're always hitting someone.
Yeah.
And
it goes along with the shady aspect of the River Flotilla.
Yeah, it's true. They are a little shady little car salesman, but we love them. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. We love our subscribers, and we're so excited every time one of them reaches out. You guys are awesome. And we want to remind you guys that we have the giveaway coming up. So keep subscribing, tell everyone you know so we can get to 1,000 so we can do it. And our goal is to start doing giveaways more regularly, so maybe look out for a video where we talk about the increments we want to hit. So help us out with that, and we're so excited.
Thanks you guys for watching our video of our ranking of the hirelings. We really hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you got a little bit out of it and you know which hirelings you want to play with next time. Thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.